The homeless man returned a billionaire's wallet. What happened next shocked everyone. Welcome back to Ibrahim Documentary. It was a freezing winter evening in New York City. People hurried home without looking at the man sitting on the sidewalk. His name was David. For nearly 3 years, David had been homeless. Every day was the same. He searched for food, collected bottles for a few dollars, and slept under a bridge near Manhattan. Most people walked past him as if he didn't exist. But despite losing everything, David refused to lose one thing: his honesty. One rainy night, while cleaning the sidewalk near a subway entrance, David noticed a black leather wallet lying beside a bench. He picked it up. Inside were several credit cards, a driver's license, and nearly $8,000 in cash. For a man who hadn't eaten a proper meal in days, that money could have changed everything. He could rent a room, buy new clothes, start over. For a moment, he stared at the cash. Then he closed the wallet. Inside was a business card with one name:
I don't know
Jonathan
who you
Hayes,
are.
CEO of Hayes Global Capital,
I don't know what
one
you
of New
want.
York's wealthiest billionaires.
I can tell you I
David
don't
had
know
no
money,
phone,
but
no
what I do
car,
have
no internet,
are a very
but he was
particular set of
determined to
skills.
return it. The next morning, he walked nearly 6 miles to the billionaire's headquarters in Manhattan. When he reached the front desk, the receptionist looked at his torn clothes and immediately frowned. "I'm here to return Mr. Hayes's wallet." She didn't believe him. Security guards surrounded David. One guard even accused him of stealing it. David quietly placed the wallet on the counter. "Please, just tell him someone found this." Minutes later, the elevator doors opened. Jonathan Hayes himself walked into the lobby. The moment he saw the wallet, he froze. Everything was still inside: the cash, the cards, even a small handwritten note from his late father that he had carried for 20 years. Jonathan looked at David. "You didn't take anything?" David smiled. "It wasn't mine." The billionaire reached into his pocket and offered David $10,000 as a reward. Everyone in the lobby watched. David looked at the money, then slowly shook his head. "I didn't return it for a reward." The entire lobby fell silent. Jonathan had spent decades doing business. He had met thousands of people, but almost nobody had ever refused money like that. He became curious. Instead of leaving, Jonathan invited David to lunch. During their conversation, David shared his story. Years earlier, he had owned a small construction company. Then the economy crashed. His business failed. His wife became sick. Medical bills consumed everything he had. After she passed away, David lost his home, but he never lost his principles. Jonathan listened without interrupting. Before they left the restaurant, he handed David a business card. "Come to my office Monday morning." David thought it was just a kind gesture, but on Monday, he showed up. Jonathan offered him a maintenance job at one of his office buildings. It wasn't glamorous, but it was honest work. David accepted immediately. He arrived before everyone else, worked harder than anyone expected, never complained, never asked for favors. Months passed. Managers noticed him. Tenants praised him. Whenever something went wrong, David solved it. 1 year later, Jonathan promoted him to building supervisor. 3 years later, he was managing multiple properties across New York. His salary increased every year. He rented an apartment, bought a car, and slowly rebuilt the life he thought he had lost forever. Then one day, Jonathan announced his retirement. Thousands of employees expected a famous executive to become the company's next president. Instead, Jonathan called David into his office. He smiled and said, "The day you returned my wallet, you proved something no resume ever could. You proved I could trust you." Jonathan offered David a partnership in one of the company's newest real estate projects. That single opportunity changed everything. Within a few years, David became a millionaire, not because someone gave him money, but because someone recognized his character. Years later, reporters asked Jonathan why he trusted a homeless stranger with such an important opportunity. His answer became famous. "You can teach someone business. You can teach someone management, but you can't teach honesty." Today, David often visits the same subway station where he once slept, not because he has nowhere else to go, but because every winter he personally delivers food, blankets, and clothing to people living on the streets. When asked why he does it, he simply says, "I remember the day someone believed in me." Sometimes, the greatest investment isn't in a company, it isn't in real estate, it isn't in the stock market. Sometimes, the greatest investment is believing in the right person. And it all began with one lost wallet on a cold New York evening. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and follow Ibrahim Documentary for more inspiring billionaire stories. See you in the next documentary.